Right, hello everyone. Well, had a week away from Wonky's blog, which no doubt did you all a world of good, not hearing this constant dribble going on. It was my 60th birthday, so managed to get some money with some other presents and purchased a couple of items. But first of all, there's been an upgrade to the AB412, which I've loaded in and I've yet to fly. Not sure what all the upgrades are yet. I've got to read the notes on Heli Simmer because he does such a good job of telling you everything that's going on. So it'd be interesting to have a look at that one in a minute. We've also bought a VSKYLABS Eurofox because I like VSKYLABS stuff and I just think at the moment he deserves anything he can get. We have a VSKYLABS waterplane that might be interesting down the Thames, maybe land it under the bridge, that one, and a VSKYLABS 25C, which I fancy. The couple of other models I'd bought were for DCS, so I won't go into them. So getting quite a library of stuff from VSKYLABS, and I do think they do such a great job of what they're doing. So it's only my own preference. There's a lot of free models out there as well, you know, and we still like the Bell 429. The Sikorsky still needs plenty of work done on it. The Cadbury's still my favourite little helicopter, and I think, as we can see, I haven't loaded in. Some of you might have read that I actually wiped my hard drive by mistake and have had to reload everything again, so some of the helicopters haven't gone back in yet, but starting off with the new ones, and let's have a look at the old AB412. Let's see what it looks like. Well, there it is in the Bristow colours. For some reason, I don't know why, it just looks so good in the blue and the white, this helicopter. And obviously from the outside, no major changes. I think they've mainly done physics and they've added some other options for mission capabilities that you can use for it. But it's an absolute joy to fly. It's a great helicopter. We can only wonder what the Nimbus Bell's going to be like, because really the only thing on this one that sort of lets it down in some ways, the modern engine noise, I suppose. If it had the old thump of the old Bell, who'd worry? It flies absolutely lovely. So jump inside, get the collective. Say, it's been a while since I've flown, so it's not going to be anything great. I was very fortunate to make it through my 60th birthday without being too poorly, but unfortunately afterwards I was laid up in bed again for quite a while with this dystonia problem, so didn't get in as much flying as I'd hoped over the break. But the interior of this helicopter has always been outstanding anyway, and it just feels right when you're flying it round, you know, when you're doing fast auto rotations, anything. It's a great helicopter. I think the Bell 429 as well ranks up there with this, and that's Tom's version. I know this is the X-Trident one you have to pay for. I think the 429 at the moment is equally as good and equally as nice to fly. At the moment I think it's more down to just to have a look at what they've done, and if you can tell any changes, and certainly at first glance nothing really changed inside. So I'm going to nip off to the Heli Simmer page and have a look what they did upgrade. We also have the Eurofox, which is going to no doubt take a while to load, so there'd be a bit jumping around on this one. It's a very strange thing in DCS where I'm learning to fly the jets, and it is a long learning process. In X-plane, I tend to be going for these very lightweight planes that right joystick profile loading, that fly very, very slowly, and break off. Roll on. The important on flaps. This thing just takes off no matter what you're doing. Again, from the outside view, great looking model, good fun, flies really slowly. I was flying it around and dropping it into some cricket pitches and stuff like that the other day, and again, really well modelled, really nice, just something else to add to the library. These short takeoff, very lightweight aircraft are a great deal of fun to fly. We're at Goodwood, by the way, just I hadn't mentioned it. I'll probably put the VR headset on in a little while and just have a look around in proper VR rather than that. But so well modelled, great fun. Love just flying it really slowly, waiting for that sort of stall angle and just dropping in really low, and then try and get it in the smallest area that you can. Just great fun. And then the other one we purchased is his motorised glider, which again works off. Engine full on, bit of right pedal. Now I've only had one quick go in this so far. And I just love the idea of these sailplanes that can, just when they need to, whip the engine on, look for another thermal, go flying around somewhere else if you start to lose it, engine back on, get some height. Again, really nicely modelled on the inside. So I've had a bit of a treat, really, just getting so many in one go. View from outside. Looks great, I have to say. So we have the powered glider there, which is something, again, another video which I'll do in the future and maybe look at it and try and find a good location for it. Just cut that engine back. Don't even mess about with the trims, really. You can hold it on the joystick quite easily, just plodding by there. Look out the windows. Gonna be a nice one in VR, this one, I think. And as I say, I'll mix in some stuff as we go. And then the last one, keep hitting the wrong buttons today. Now this is a seaplane, and I have flown this one earlier today, and flew it in London and managed to land it under Tower Bridge on my first flight, which was quite interesting to say the least. Very good in VR as well, this one. It's very well modelled anyway. If you look from outside, it's a strange design, but you can see it's really just a boat with a lightweight plane stuck on the top of it. 2 people in though, interesting. And we'll jump back inside. So brakes off. Bit of right foot. And again, it's another lightweight one, so it doesn't seem to take very much to take off. What you do want to remember with this one is that if you are going to try and land it in water, make sure the undercarriage is up. This one here, that's up. We'll go for an outside view. So a really interesting little group there. So over the next week or so we've been playing around with the X-Trident, the sailplane and this water plane, and no doubt have a trip or two in the cab room. Let's just jump back in. And is there any water around? Well, there's some over there. So let's see how she fares. Now I'm going to imagine that we're going to need some flaps, and I can see some flaps here. I'm just going to put 15 on, won't go to full works. Cut the engine back. Head towards the estuary. And I'm only thinking flaps, really, just landing speed wise. It's got a very good display, cockpit display, and you can also change that over to Habitat as well. We'll have a go at getting it down in this little estuary part, and then maybe I'll go back to Tower Bridge and we'll see if we can get that one done as well, just to tag in the end. Very sedate, very easy to fly. Bearing in mind, you know, planes really aren't my thing at the moment. I'm getting used to them, I'm getting to understand them a bit more. The big thing is they like going forward all the time. They don't like standing still. So a nice easy approach in here. Be interesting whether the the water is, I'm going to say deep enough for a landing. Cutting the engine back a little bit more, keeping the nose up. Wow, and I think we're down. Let's have a jump from outside. Right, hello everyone. Well, back after the 60th birthday break, and got a number of little presents and some money to spend. But before I go into that, there's been an update on the X-Trail 412, which I've just jumped into to see if I could see anything drastic. I'll put a link into the Helisimmer page because, as usual, Sergio will do a much better job and put a lot more work into actually finding out what they've done than me, who will just tend to jump in it and just look for differences. From memory, they've added in a few more extras for missions as such. I don't know if they've done anything on the flight dynamics. I'm not sure they actually needed to. It flies beautifully. Until the Nimbus bell comes out, maybe with the thump blades, this is the closest we're going to get. And again, maybe if not with Tom's 429, that's another helicopter that's lovely to fly. But here we are, we're in London, and I spent some money on some aircraft, strangely enough, rather than helicopters. So VSKYLABS, who their stuff I absolutely love. I got their little seaplane thing, which you'll see a bit later, and we actually don't fly under Tower Bridge, but we actually land it under Tower Bridge, this little seaplane flying over here, and also his motorised sailplane. I did enjoy that little stint in the gliders. I love the idea of having an actual engine on just to get you up high enough when you need to, and then just sail around your favourite place. Right, so here we are, we're at City Airport. VR, but we're using Oculus window to try and show it off a little bit better. I do like that long skinny mode, but many people seem to prefer the full width mode. Interior looks great. Rev it up, and a bit of right tail pedal. I put some flaps on. Had a few stutters in VR today, so it seems to have taken off fairly quickly, really, for that. So our aim is to, well, keep it in the air. I'll keep the flaps on about 15. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I would hope that means we can fly slightly slower. We'll have to get the gear up. And then head off towards Tower Bridge. So let's gear up. Should have been looking where I was going. We've got to head over. I'm in the passenger seat now, somehow. the old Millennium Dome. And it really is a very nice, sedate, easy to fly thing. I suppose it's like a microlope with a boat stuck on the bottom, but certainly added another dimension to let's say X-plane and flight sim in general. I know there are other water planes or seaplanes, but this particular one, I do like VSKYLABS stuff, and it sort of looks like one of those ones we can pick small areas and try and get it down into, so where we would normally fly off to the great city and no doubt go under Tower Bridge in the helicopters. I think what we're going to attempt to do is to actually land this under Tower Bridge. I think it's going to be better coming in a bit faster than take the chance on stalling it. Drop some weight. But again, with the VR headset on, it just looks stunning, the whole thing. Do I go for the extra flaps or keep it? I think we'll keep it as it is with a bit of faster forward movement. Just until I've flown it a few times, got used to it. I'm sure you could drop this in quite slowly as well. Try and get around the corner here. Oh look, Orbix have put a tree in the middle of the Thames. Wonderful. No, I have seen it before. It's one of those anomalies that crops up. A little bit more power, squaring up. Really a matter of just trying to judge the sink rate, keep the nose forward. Nose up a bit. Drop the throttle back a little bit more. See if we can drop it right in underneath. Go, cut the power. We're down. Bit of a bounce there. Let's go for an immediate full power. Flaps are only at 15, but I wonder if she'll get airborne. Starting to get longer bounces, so here we go. Looks like we're up. So there it is. First go under the Thames, landing, or under the Tower Bridge I should say, landing. We'll have a fly around by the wheel and drop it outside the Houses of Parliament. And again, flies very smoothly. Certainly compared to DCS, where I've been doing the jets recently, the learning curve on that is, well, let's just say for the 60-year-old man whose brain's getting slightly addled, keyboard shortcuts, oh my god. Maybe if I get a full VR version where it's going to be done from inside the cabin. That might be a bit easier, but I've got to decide what to invest in. I'm not sure whether to do the Harrier or the new F-15, or the Tomcat I should say. Right, let's start cutting the engine back. Now there's a bridge going across in front of Houses of Parliament there that doesn't quite make it to the other side. I noticed this the other day in a video we did, and it's sort of just stops, as you can see. So I think we're going to try and go over that and then drop it down just on the other side. It really is just good fun, this. It's the interplay of, oh, watch the lights, the interplay of like the throttle and just actually not trying to stall it and keep the speed forward. Bit of a bounce again. There we are, we're down. That's wonderful. There we are coming in. Bridge somewhere over there. We're going quite fast. I didn't realise we were actually going that fast. And just about spot on under the bridge. And then full belt. Some speed up. So we might hit the street lamps here coming in. Or maybe I think that would have tipped it. There we go. Down for a reason, maybe a bit fast, maybe should have had full flags. Just great fun. Really good fun, enjoyable. But as usual, just leaves me to say thank you to everyone for their good wishes on my birthday, the 60th, and also the fact that I was poorly and was offline for a little while. All good wishes from people for that. I really do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. We're over 100. In some respects, that's all I ever expected, but it's lovely to know that people are watching it and taking notice, and can continue to listen to my continual drivel while these things are going on. I'll add some other information and links at the bottom for the Helisimmer page, because we upgrade on the extra 412. He's done much better job than I will ever do, so you can go off and read that, the updates there as well. But just leaves me to say thank you very much, appreciate your time, and press the subscribe button, and hopefully you'll be back with some ideas of what to do with these things next week. Talk to you soon.